Welcome, welcome to Soul Purpose Healing. I'm Beata, your host. And once again, wars and rumors of wars have revved up again, and Venezuela is in the picture. This beautiful country with beautiful people, and people are so divided on what just took place. The gangsters bombed Venezuela, or the gangsters kidnapped the president. So let us start out with a prayer because division needs peace, division needs unity. So let us bring in the prayer of the seven galactic directions to start off this evening with powerful truth, love, and wisdom. We ask the creator of all things to help us tonight. We ask the creator of all things to be with us tonight. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us as we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. And from the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum hunabku evam maya imaho. Ayum hunabku evam maya imaho. Ayum hunabku evam maya imaho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. And so it is, and so it is. We are coming together tonight to collectively put out a spirit of love, of peace, of joy that will end all wars. But for now, we're being entertained once again by the military industrial complex that loves to bomb and take over countries. Now, we are so divided in the United States that I had to bring some wisdom, some spiritual insight into this whole situation. We don't have to pay attention to politics and war and all that, especially if you're on a mission to just evolve into a new person and you want to ignore all the chatter out there. But my friend Ralph Smart had a great message about what's going on in Venezuela and what they're really not telling you. Because most of us think it's about resources, right? Oil, lots of oil in Venezuela. The United States is greedy, military's greedy, military's evil, so they want to get all that oil, but it's so much deeper than that. A lot of it has to do with crime of fentanyl being brought into this country from Venezuela. You remember all those people running to the America during the Biden administration bringing fentanyl. Fentanyl is everywhere. I don't know how they're going to control it, but one way they figure, let's just bomb Venezuela and bring their president here and put him on trial. So that's what they do. But let's listen to a message from Ralph Smart, my spiritual Piscean brother, who just always brings a spiritual higher message to help us evolve, to help us grow in all throughout the chaos. And what the connection is protecting your greatest resource from the gangsters. The gangsters are everywhere. We're going to talk about that tonight. The gangsters are not just the military industrial complex. We got gangsters everywhere. And we want to help you tonight recognize the gangsters in your life and protect your resource, your greatest resource. What is that? Do we know? Let's listen to my brother, Ralph Smart, and get an idea of really what's going on. He says, Venezuela, the things they're not telling you about Venezuela. I love his message, and then we'll come back and take it in personally, especially talk about spiritual hygiene, becoming so clear and so clean from all the gangster mess around us. But here is my brother Ralph Smart to give us some beautiful spiritual insight on this whole thing. It's pretty crazy.
Someone always benefits of destabilization. Someone always benefits when a country is destabilized. Always ask yourself why and always follow the money, because the money will tell you why this is all happening. Now, Venezuela, the part they're not telling you is this. Deep divers. Albert Pike, who was a Scottish Freemason, said that there would be a third world war. And there's a reason why all around Europe, they are getting their citizens to prepare for war. There's a reason why a lot of countries are kind of investing more in the military. What I'm telling you, deep divers, is to protect your energy right now, because you see, there are a lot of tensions in the air. What happened with Venezuela, Trump going into Venezuela and capturing the president and bringing him back to New York, this is unprecedented. A lot of people are like, how is that even possible? Now, China are closely watching. Russia are closely watching. Even Saudi Arabia are closely watching, because they're like, hey, if this could happen to Venezuela, this can also happen to us, especially China. And therefore, what you're seeing is a whole divide between nations right now like never before. So there's something called BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and other countries, right? Like Egypt and Iran and Ethiopia, they're all in BRICS. And you've got to remind yourself that the whole entire world is being divided. And that's the reason why, deep dive, as I told you, there's a 3D, 5D split happening. Always remind yourself that you don't want to get caught up in someone else's war. You don't want to get caught up in someone else's ideology. Right now on the planet, a lot of people are being distracted by geopolitical events. And there's a reason for that. Because right now we are living in the greatest times of change the planet has ever witnessed. We are living in the age of Aquarius, where the hidden is coming to light. Right now, millions of people are waking up from the matrix. There's a reason why in 2020, I made the video, the world ended in 2019. In 2020, there was a reset, right? And what happened is that a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, what is the world turning into? But there was also consciousness was reaching a peak. Consciousness was reaching a peak. Like 2018, 2019, 2020, a lot of people were waking up, finding out about how this matrix really works, and then they had to shut everything down. And that's why a lot of people say, Ralph, the world doesn't feel the same right now, right? It doesn't feel the same because something shifted in 2020. And it now seems like we're living in a whole new alternative timeline, right? The truth is, deep divers, what actually happened was a massive 3D, 5D split. And what you're seeing right now is a wider split happen between those who can see through the illusion and those who just believe everything they see and hear. Right now, I'm here to give you this message, deep divers. Don't choose sides. Be on the side of truth. I'm here to give you this message, deep divers. In a world full of fear, choose love. I'm here to give you this message, deep divers. Like, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm here to give you this message, deep divers. The world has always been run by gangsters. You think someone's a gangster? No, the people who are controlling this matrix are gangsters. They say, hey, I want that resource. Let me go and get it. I'm talking of resources, deep divers. Like, it's always been about resources. And this is the reason why, if you know that your greatest resource is your soul, nothing will faze you. Slow motion this side. The greatest resource, deep divers, is your soul, is the love in your heart. Someone has tricked you into thinking that the greatest resource is gold. No, deep divers, you can't eat gold. The truth is, our soul is the greatest resource. And also a whole bunch of grapes. They're great resources, right? What I'm talking about is Gaia has given us the natural resources. Food. That is the fundamental resource we all need. However, due to consumerism, our massive appetite on the planet, a lot of people have become incredibly greedy. And that's the reason why a lot of nations are going bankrupt, including the US, who has trillions of debt to pay back. They're printing money out of thin air and they need resources. That's the reason why you see all of these geopolitical events. What I'm telling you is that just imagine if all the resources on the planet were shared equally. Slow motion this side. I said, just imagine, deep divers, all the resources on this planet were shared and distributed equally. I said, just imagine all the resources on this planet were shared and distributed equally. We would all be living in heaven, deep divers, and the truth is, heaven is on earth. But you have to remind yourself, the reason why I'm talking about Venezuela is because what happens in Venezuela and what is happening there is going to affect everything around the world, because this could actually be a catalyst for a wider war, for wider division, for the US and China to go at it. It's already happening. So don't think that what's happening in Venezuela is not going to affect everything around you. I'm here to tell you there is a 3D, 5D split happening. I told you right now. A lot of people are going off grid. Right now, a lot of people are waking up from the matrix. Right now, a lot of people are realizing we are multi-dimensional beings having a human experience. You see, the truth is, the whole world is a stage. And once you dive down the rabbit hole, you start to realize that everything happening is a script, is planned, and it is designed to keep you in division, arguing amongst each other, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, Labor versus conservative. The truth is, you want to be focusing on yourself and you want to be voting for love. You want to be an ambassador of peace and a promoter of love. Because you see, all of this division is the reason why there's poverty in the world. Like John Lennon said, imagine if there's no countries. Woo! That song, Deep Divers, that song, Imagine, was so powerful because John Lennon was actually giving you the blueprint to higher consciousness. Imagine there's no borders. Imagine you don't own land. Imagine there's no countries. Imagine there's no governments. This was dangerous. That song actually threatened the economy. It threatened the establishment. That's the reason why they banned the song. And then mysteriously later, he's found dead. Someone shoots him. Deep Divers, what I'm telling you is that there is nothing new under the sun. This has been going on since ancient Rome. There's been a fight for resources. There's been a fight for consciousness. Right now on the planet, there's a battle for the hearts and minds of the people. That's the reason why anything you read in the media, you have to question it. Television means tell-I-vision. It's telling lies to you visually. You don't even know the true story. And the truth is, you got to think for yourself. Don't get distracted out here, Deep Divers, because this year is going to be full of distractions. This year is going to be full of surprises. Focus on yourself every single day. Whoa, breathe in that good ass prana, baby. We're sun gazing right now, Deep Divers. It's starting to feel like that old Infinite Waters again. I'm here to tell you, Deep Divers, like I said, imagine if 8 billion people loved, respected, and appreciated each other, what we can all accomplish. I don't believe anything I see in the media. I'm a critical thinker. Always remind yourself, Deep Divers, whenever you see something happen, always ask yourself why and who does this benefit? You're told that it's about stopping criminal organizations, but then again, Venezuela has 303 billion barrels of oil. 303 billion barrels of oil. This has 17%. It has 17% of the global oil reserves. But that's none of my business. Deep Divers, I'm just a deep diver in the heart of nature. We ain't even had breakfast, baby. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Deep Divers, hit the like button right now if you support the real. Hit the like button right now if you support.
So that's my brother Ralph Smart of Infinite Waters, and he gives us food for thought. Third to fourth dimension movement. Imagine there's no heaven, there's no earth, no all that. But what really moved me yesterday was one of my Facebook friends who I have known probably for 15 years or more. We were in a organization where we were training to sell insurance, and her whole family is from Venezuela. And she posted that she was so grateful for what Trump has just done, taking Maduro out. I'm like, okay, let me hear what you got to say. I typed a comment. That's interesting. Why are you so grateful? And she said there has been so much suffering and poverty under Maduro that they are grateful that this is happening. So my Venezuelan friends, and I'm seeing more of that on YouTube as well when they're interviewed, people are celebrating, okay? And then there are those who are not celebrating. So again, division is occurring once again because of people's different belief systems. But I like the idea of your resources, focusing on your resources, because yes, they have so many billions of oil in Venezuela. United States wants to take over, control all that. But if the people are suffering and they're celebrating to have one more person moved out, Hopefully someone will move in who where there won't be as much suffering and poverty. That's what I'm hearing personally from people who have family there, who live there, and they are been in contact with their family for many, many years. So we want to say focus tonight on your greatest resource. How do you protect your, because there's gangsters everywhere. The gangsters we're seeing right now is Walgreens and CVS. They're all promoting free flu shots. Don't you need a free flu shot? That's a gangster to me, because even though there are a lot of people who think they need another flu shot, I'm also seeing a lot of people getting sicker after they get the shot. So that's a gangster move to me, because once again, we're in this kind of COVID part two, pandemic part two, which they already predicted would happen. So we want to protect your greatest resource, which is, as Ralph said, your soul, your spirit. And I saw Ayanla Van Zant today, and Oprah sat down to promote Ayanla's new book called Spiritual Hygiene. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to order that book, because that Ayanla gave such an inspirational, amazing conversation today with Oprah on the show that they did for about 45 minutes, maybe longer. Oh my goodness. So this is why we want to talk about your greatest resource, because when, if you know who Ayanna Van Zant is, she's like the guru of spiritual wisdom counseling. She had a show on Oprah on the OWN network a few years ago, called Fix My Life, and I watched that a lot. So now it's off. I think she's coming back on the OWN network or something, because Oprah probably needs some better ratings. But oh my goodness, talk about spiritual hygiene. That's what we're talking about when we say protecting your greatest resource from the gangsters. Now, who are the gangsters? We already know the United States government is one of the biggest terrorists in the world, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You can have yours as well. Going around the world, taking over governments, killing people, African leaders. So it's been going on for decades, right? But the gangsters who are trying to take over your sovereignty, your soul, your spiritual maturity, interfering with your evolution as a soul on this earth. Those are the gangsters who are the narcissistic extremes on the spectrum that think they need to tell you what to put in your body, what not to put in your body, how to act, and so forth and so on. So your greatest resource from them is your ability to go inward, go inside, and be secure about who you are. So, first, number one, Ayanla mentioned, how do you protect that greatest resource? Number one is your breath. Your breath is your greatest resource, according to Ayanla Van Zandt, and I had that on my list as well. So Ayanla and I are like sisters. We're us. We're united spirits. So your breath, if your breath is your greatest resource, protecting that means practicing, using it daily, deeply, consciously, pointing and making a point every day that this structure in your life is first and foremost to protect your breath, okay? Which means protecting your lungs and protecting what you put in the body so that you can have a strong breath, a strong breathing program, deep breathing every day. This is your greatest resource, your breath. Number two, stillness. This is winter. In the northern hemisphere of the planet Earth, it's winter time. It's time to be still more than active. It's time to go inward. It's time to cut the television off. It's time to put down the phones more and be still. This is a resource that you have been given a choice to evolve and improve your sacred temple by just being still and cutting out the noise. And then the third greatest resource you have is unlearning all the old beliefs that have kept you stuck and sick and tired. Okay. As many of you know, my 5 year relationship with an older man who we would say we were married, but we were long distance married partners, I would call it. And this man had a very difficult time unlearning what he had learned over the first, 70 years of his life. And you get into your 70s, and there's a phrase that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's what was brought home to me. And that has truth to it because there are very few seniors, older people who want to change at that stage of their life. So the suffering that I witnessed with this man was just so sad in the beginning, very sad, because the things that I was trying to make him do, he didn't want to do because he was too comfortable in his belief system that had brought him that far to 70 and beyond. He was actually 78 when he passed. So the journey that I had with him was so educational for me, to help me share with you that when you get to that stage where you don't want to change your beliefs and you're suffering and in pain, that's a lesson for me. It's a lesson for me. Becomes a lesson not for him. He's doing his thing. In fact, what Ayana was saying today about unique soul contracts, that at some point you stop being a victim. You start forgiving yourself for any choices you've made, any decisions you've made. You stop blaming yourself and feeling guilty and shameful. And at some point in your spiritual hygiene journey, you just learn the lessons and take responsibility. That's what this is all about. We do have a comment here. Let's see. Move around with Deborah said, speak it. And I think she was referring to Ralph. Yeah, that was at the beginning. So thank you. Move around with Deborah. Move around with Deborah is on the Female Solution every month, teaching us how to travel. So thank you for traveling in here, Deborah, this evening. So we're talking about protecting your greatest resource from the gangsters, because the distraction that we're witnessing in the media is, number one, this horrible flu, this horrible sickness is promoting fear. So that's the gangster move: fear, fear, fear. The gangsters want you to be in fear. And then the other distraction, major distraction, is Venezuela, our near south neighbor, a continent, is at war with the United States over, we think, fentanyl. Some of that is drugs. We want to get rid of the drugs. And then there's resource, resource, resource. So to keep you focused, to keep you on track with who you are, what you're here to do, we're just here to remind you tonight that your resource of your breath, your breath, using it to heal, using it to strengthen you, using it to inspire you, protect it, protect it. Your stillness, don't let people distract you into getting too busy this year. You got to be here, you got to be there. No, say no. This is about this. Protecting your stillness resource is about saying no, setting boundaries, being able to say, nah, that's not for me. I'm at a stage of my life that I don't think I should be rushing anymore. I don't have to set an alarm every morning, thank goodness. I don't have to get up and go to a 9 to 5 job, even though some of the people in my life think I need a job because I asked for help. One time I asked for help to get some tires on my car, on this new car that I inherited that was not in my budget to have new tires. So when I asked for help, all of a sudden it was like, well, you probably need a job because that car is going to cost you more money. I'm like, no, I don't need a job. I need you to understand that sometimes when people ask you for help, you should stop buying all that you're doing. Anyway, that became a thought in my mind, like, okay, do I need a job? Because I might need to invest in this automobile that someone just gifted me. And it was no, I don't need a job 9 to 5 job, but I am doing crafty things. If you notice, I just made these earrings this the other day. This is I have these are cowrie shells. If you're not familiar with them, cowrie shells are very spiritual, purpose filled instrument tools in the sea, from the sea. And I had this part of an earring, and I just took my earring apart and put a cowrie shell in the middle because it's very protective. It's very empowering. Cowrie shell. So I'm making earrings. If you'd like to donate, and I'll send you a pair of earrings. If you donate, send the cash app of any amount, I will send you a pair of cowrie shell earrings. And all you have to do is tell me what color you'd like, because I have hundreds of beads. My friend that I used to stay with, she gifted me a lot of jewelry equipment that we didn't know what to do with. My granddaughter wasn't interested in it. And then all of a sudden I have all these cowrie shells that came off a planter that fell off, and I cleaned them up, and I said, now what do I do with them? And I went to an event at Kwanzaa event last week, and I saw a woman wearing cowrie shell earrings. I thought, wow, I love those. Where'd you get them? Oh, I got them in Togo, West Africa. I'm like, Togo, West? These beads are from Africa? I started researching. I got everything I need to know about cowrie shells. I talked about them on my Wednesday show. So if you want to know the history and all that about cowrie shells, go to my Wednesday show. But basically, these shells from the sea are very spiritual. So if you send a donation, because I'm collecting donations now. This year, I've been giving away a lot of free knowledge, wisdom, information. This year, I have stopped that. I'm offering gifts for Cash App donations. So if you'd like to have a pair of cowrie shell earrings, send a Cash App donation here with the address here, and I have all the equipment. The shells are ready, the earring holders are ready. I have everything I need to create for you your own custom cowrie shell earring. So that's the business I'm in. This is my job right now, is to make your creative, conscious jewelry for you who want. And men, don't be ashamed to send a Cash App donation, and I'll make them for your girlfriend. In fact, if the men are wondering, well, you can't wear earrings, I can make bracelets or necklaces for the men. If you want a bracelet, cowrie shell, just tell me what color you want. This is my new job, since I'm getting the pressure from family. Like, if I'm going to keep this car, don't be coming to me to ask for donations. So I'm like, right. In any case, my nephew donated money for me to get new tires because the tires were worn out. So we're talking about resources. If you have limited resources to do whatever you need to do, go into meditate stillness. This is your first step of action to build your resources, and then unlearning. See, my family thinks a 9 to 5 job is what everybody should be doing, and not creating other positions, other activities like making earrings and doing other creative things. So that belief system has to be unlearned, because we're in such a chaotic, divisive society. The affordable housing is being attacked. People are living in their cars, their vans, storage units, living in tents on the street. The unhoused situation is out of control, in my opinion, in every state of this United Estados Unidos. And so, what do we do about things like that? We have to create new solutions. We have to unlearn whatever solutions we thought were the end result for any problem, we have to unlearn that now because it's not working. The system is attacking affordable housing, like even tiny houses on wheels are being attacked because they're not bringing in revenue, it's not bringing in taxes. People buy land and they're told they cannot park a van or a tiny house on the land, even though they own the land. This is a war, brothers and sisters. This is a war. We have to be more creative with helping our veterans who are unhoused, whoever's unhoused. We can create affordable housing, but we've got a battle. We go back to what I just talked about, the gangsters. These are the gangsters that are just everywhere. Okay, we got gangsters everywhere. Let me put up my sign. So our goal is protecting your greatest resource from the gangsters. Identify the gangsters, all these city employees, government employees who are creating laws that make it impossible almost to find affordable housing. Those are gangsters, in my opinion, because they're not looking out for our best interests. Our government is the biggest gangster, the biggest terrorist in the planet, and we don't understand. As Ralph Smart said earlier, there's all kinds of reasons why Venezuela is the target this season, but one of the reasons is to distract us. We are being distracted once again. So let's not be distracted as far as our sovereignty and what we can do as a sacred temple with a brain. We got this brain that's marvelous, great working brain. We got a heart. As Ralph said at the end, the love in your heart is your resource. And if we don't develop the love in our heart this year, which is all about the number one, 2026, number one, unity, we're going to suffer. That's what I found with my partner who just transitioned. We couldn't have unity in our relationship at some point. In fact, about a year before he passed, almost, it was mostly telephone conversations and texting, because there was no unity, because he couldn't let go of his childhood trauma, ACEs, adverse childhood experience. Excuse me. He couldn't get into yoga and breathing and meditation because of his past religious beliefs. Couldn't get into too much stillness. He was forced into stillness because of his suffering and pain. So my communication with my partner friend was, how are you doing today? Well, I'm in pain. How are you doing today? Pain. What can you take for pain? Well, thanks to Mama AZ, Alka-Seltzer Plus was a big relief for him, because Mama AZ knows how to manage pain. So we got people in our life who know how to manage pain. They can help you get into your stillness. But isn't it better to get into stillness when you have a sane mind, when you've let go of, unlearned all those old beliefs that are constricting you from flowing into a new fourth and fifth dimension? Because that's what Ralph was telling us, is that the chaos that we're witnessing is partly because we're moving from this third dimensional hate, war, conflict into more peace. And some people are holding on to that third dimension like they can't go without, they can't leave it, they can't go without it. So we're here as a community, as a collective unit tonight, soul purpose healing, to move forward and protect your breath. Protect your breath. Practice it every day, every day. When you wake up, that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I start deep breathing. Sometimes I wake up and I've got a pain in my shoulder because of the way I slept, or pain in my leg. And immediately I don't get out of that bed until I go, oxygen to the shoulder, oxygen. And then I'll put my hand on that shoulder or wherever, and I'll stay in that bed until that pain goes away. And it goes away because your breath is number one resource. Number two is your stillness. Throughout the day, sometimes you just need to go to a tree That's my favorite place. Go to a tree, touch the tree, and feel the negative ions coming up from the Mother Earth. Just touch the tree, hug the tree, talk to the tree, thank the tree. Your connection to nature in any kind of way is going to help you preserve your resource of love in your heart. I was at an event yesterday, it was a health event in Sanford, Florida, and I was talking to this lady at one of her booths, and bees were just flying all around me. And she said, "Oh my goodness, look at all the bees!" And I said, "Yeah, they just I'm attracting bees all the time." I was even a little surprised at the number of bees that had joined me, but that's my life, and I just love it that I'm not afraid of them for one anymore, because usually my family, when bees come around me, they scattered. And then at another point in this day of healthy information and knowledge and meeting people, I was sitting at a bench talking to a woman about a part-time job because she runs a senior care business. And this other guy comes and sits, and he's sitting there, and we're talking, and the bees are coming again. The bees are flying around me again. And he's like, "You got bees all around you." He said, "You know what that means?" He started telling me what that means. You've got a great aura. You got a pure aura. He was telling me all of the affirmations that I'm aware of now about why bees are attracted to me. It's royalty. I have this royalty image or energy, it's called, and this pure loving aura. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's why I want you to take on the same royalty energy as we are being distracted from all these wars and rumors of war and all the media hype and all that, the flu and the viruses and all that. Your protection, your power is in breath, stillness, and unlearning. Unlearning. We cannot go forward in this year in unity with the alignment with the Most High and the Creator if you're still holding on to old beliefs that are not serving you, old beliefs that are not keeping you healthy, old beliefs that are not improving your relationships. Some of the relationships you're in, you're going to have to move away and let go, because if they're not in alignment with your belief and your goal to have a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious life, maybe time to leave, and don't worry about it. Because when you make that decision this year to be in unity, to be one with Creator's love, Creator's purpose, there will be doors opened all over the place for you. That's what's happening in my life, even doors being opened because you choose to be one with the Creator, Most High, universe, cosmic order, and you are using your breath, using your time of stillness to find peace, joy, and purify your heart. So your soul is, it's time for a change in 2026. And all these things going on around us are just a distraction, especially when you're walking and they offering flu shots. Distraction, distraction, distraction. There's a debate now about the mask. Even I am not going to tell anybody not to wear a mask or to do that anymore, because that is your decision. I will tell you that do some research on Fauci. You know, Anthony Fauci, the guy who started this clown show with COVID and all that. It back in the 80s, I believe it was, Fauci was recommending masks to be worn for the purpose of get this now. Do your research. Don't take my word for it. Promoting pneumonia in people. Now, just take that with a grain of salt. Don't take my word. Do your research. It's out there. But, you know, many of us during COVID, we were inside doing research. In fact, during COVID, we were in the rabbit hole looking for every little solution, answer, and piece about the whole Twilight Zone we went through in 19 or 2021, 22, and beyond. Fauci promoted mask wearing 20, 30 years ago, and it was the purpose of it, if you go in the rabbit hole, was to promote pneumonia. So you do what you want. They're not going to get me in a mask. I don't care what's going on. Because guess what? Remember, if you're doing your breath work every day, you're strengthening your lungs. If you're fasting, doing intermittent fasting, you're strengthening your body. If you're practicing stillness and getting out in nature and thanking the trees for protection, guess what? You're going to just be you're going to be part of a different community of healthy individuals because you're consciously taking the best care of your greatest resource, which is love in your heart. And love in your heart means you love yourself more. You're going to take the best care of yourself no matter what happens. Okay. So we've got, let's see, Higher Learning TV show. She says, teach. Thank you. Zelda is on tomorrow morning. Monday morning mindfulness. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 7 Central on YouTube. Higher Learning for a wonderful meditation. She has the best meditation, in my opinion, on YouTube in the morning, Monday morning. We all need that gong sound, those beautiful sounds, waterfall. Zelda brings it every Monday morning. So tune in at 7, 8 Eastern. And look who's back in the house. Kwame Sunhor. I begin happy new you. Yes, happy new you to all of you. We collectively are going to ride through this new year on a higher level. We are going to ride higher because, along with me and all your conscious friends, remember, it's time to let go of some people this year if they're not bringing you up to a new level. And it's time to not be so distracted by the wars and rumors of wars, but to remember your greatest resource needs to be protected. That's what we're talking about tonight. So thank you. We're not going to keep you long. We just want you to focus on you. Fly first. Love yourself. That's the solution to bringing your best, protecting your greatest resource from the gangsters. And please pay attention as you go through your week. Just recognize. Just call them gangsters. Those organizations, people, corporations, and governments that are trying to control you, steal your joy, and put you in a place of weakness. If people in your life are not trying supporting you, upholding you, encouraging you, loving on you, they're gangsters at this point. That's how I see them. So the government of the United States is doing what they do for whatever reasons. And I'm with my Venezuelan friends and family, really. If they're celebrating, I'm celebrating with them because they know best what's been going on in their country. So I'm going to celebrate with them. And we're going to just pray and believe that the best is yet to come, that the suffering will be reduced in Venezuela because of the actions that are being taken by this government. We just pray for the best, right? So thank you all for joining me this evening. We're going to say good night and namaste to all my yogi friends. Satnam, Ashe, Ashe, O to all my brothers and sisters out there. And Aho to all my native relatives and friends. And Shalom. Have a great week, and we'll see you in the morning with Zelda on Monday Morning Mindfulness. Mwah, love you.